Okay, my name is Judy, and I have to give you a little background so you understand this story. I did not grow up in York. I grew up on a farm outside of York. I learned about York when I was a teenager and you could ride the circuit. That was fun. My jobs in town were Dent Supply and York Wall, which you're not allowed to call it York Wall. It's York Wall Coverings. And then I moved to Atlanta. I got out of York. And I was down there for 20 years until 2.5 years ago. And I hungered to not come back. I did not miss the snow. I loved Atlanta. I loved everything about the South. But I came back to take care of my parents. My mom was declining. She was in the hospital right after I got back. I moved and it was nice and warm, and the next week we had 2 feet of snow, and this is why I don't want to be here. But I took care of my parents and all that. My dad, well, hospice helped me. Otherwise I would not have been able to do this. And with hospice, my mom would tell the volunteer about her childhood, and she was made this really neat book on snapfish for them. And my mom would tell her about when she was a child, their dad never hugged them. I mean, their dad never showed them affection. He passed away before I was born, so I didn't know him. But when he was dying, she got on his bed and gave him a hug and told him that she loved him because she didn't ever want anybody to die not knowing that. And she told the hospice worker this. And my dad is a Vance. He's a veteran. He is stubborn, Pennsylvania Dutch. He's a whole different ball game. But hospice helped me with both of them together as a package deal. And my dad has, we call them Wayneisms. And I hunger for his work ethic and the influence. He was just a farmer, and he worked at the AMP for 40 years. And he passed away in December, before my mom, and they asked us if we wanted to have visitation Friday night and then just the funeral on Saturday. And we're like, no, it's just our dad, you know. And Saturday, there were hundreds of people there. We were overwhelmed by the influence that he had. So I hunger for the simple influence that he had on people every day for his life for 86 years. Him and my mom were married for 59 years. My mom, after he passed away in December, she just wanted to go to heaven and be with my dad. And my mom's big thing, I don't know if anybody ever in here has ever met her, is because of what she said about her dad, she gave everybody hugs. My mom is known for mini hugs. That was her name. And if you ever had a mini hug, lots of people in this town have. And she hugged everybody. And so I hunger for the care and love that she showed everybody. I mean, we have a church that's in town. Kids would line up on Wednesday nights to get a mini hug. And so I hunger for that. And her hospice workers, her nurse and her aide that would help her, and they would help me with her last week on this earth. I hunger for the peace that she had. She just lived a life that was so simple, but she cared about everybody. And that last night, when I was up with her all night, I never experienced until the next day when she passed away, like in the nighttime with no gasp, just in her sleep, peaceful. And the next morning when hospice came, you always read about in the Bible and in history about preparing the body for death. And I never experienced it till that morning, where they tenderly removed her soiled linens and they gently washed her and prepared her for pickup from the funeral home. And I hunger for that kind of compassion for others. And So my challenge to you is you live your life, whether it's 86 years or 30 years or you're gone tomorrow, live your life with laughter and with love for other people like my mom and dad.